And we're live. Hi, Facebook fans. I'm Chuck Mansfield, winemaker for HKG Estate Wines, and this is Dave Smith, our vineyard manager. We wanted to try to launch this broadcast today. We're gonna try to be interactive here, so we're gonna taste through our wines that are in the most recent wine club shipment, and I want to get questions from you guys, for both myself and for Dave Smith here today. So I think we'll start by tasting an inaugural release for us. It's our brand new HKG Sparkling Estate Pinot Noir. So while Dave opens that up, I'll talk a little bit about the sparkling process, what makes it different from our red Pinot Noirs. So that the traditional pop there provided by all the CO2 bubbles in the bottle. What actually happens with this wine is after the primary fermentation, we actually bottle the wine and add a little bit of sweetness to it to re-ferment and kind of create that pressure, that carbon dioxide, those really fine bubbles. All that ferments and actually creates a little bit of yeast that the wine will age with, and actually give you some of those mid-palate, kind of bready, doughy textures that you all are accustomed to with a good sparkling wine. So let's jump in and taste this.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, I was truly excited to have this produced this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a new venture for us, but
yeah,
I think it's turned out pretty good.
Yeah, so it's fun. We have over 70 acres of Pinot Noir planted on the estate, and so what we do is we take a small piece of that and actually harvest it pretty early, a few weeks before most everything else.
Yeah.
We want a lot of good crispness, a good acidity to balance some of the sugar as this wine ferments in the bottle, and the end products are really fruit forward, just fresh, fleshy strawberry kind of aroma and juicy sparkling wine here. So it should be great for the holidays and on through New Year's.
It's definitely for New Year's. Again,
Cool. Cheers.
good job.
So yeah, and if you guys have any questions about any of these wines, feel free to just relay those questions on in, and we'll do our best to get those answered. And by the way, the sparkling wine there retails for $26. So a pretty generous offering. I think we're gonna outcompete a lot of the others that you're gonna find on the market this time of year. So moving along, this is our 2010 Estate Chardonnay.
So can you tell me something about this Chard, Chuck? How does it differ from our other Chardonnay, which we don't have up here today, but
yeah, so we do two different Chardonnay bottlings each year. Our North Bridge Chardonnay, and then this one, our Estate Russian River Valley Chardonnay. We actually do retain a component of this wine and ferment it all the way in stainless steel. The majority of the wine is still done in the traditional French oak barrel, but that component of stainless steel is going to give us some minerality, some crispness, some kind of lively flavors to balance some of the tropical fruit notes and citrus notes that we get in this wine. Yeah, it's usually one of my favorite white wines. You know, a lot of Chardonnays nowadays on the market are almost cloyingly sweet and really oaky and heavy in alcohol, but this one just pairs beautifully with a wide variety of foods. I've had it with creamy pasta dishes. I've had it with fruit salads in the summertime, and it's one of my favorite wines that we do each year.
no, it's very enjoyable with meals and just relaxing at the end of the day. Very nice.
Yeah.
Just from the vineyard side of it, all of our Chardonnays are grown down the river flat. Very deep, well-drained soils, very characteristic of the Russian River. Lends itself to just making a world-class Chardonnay.
Yeah, absolutely. And we actually, for the holiday season, we decided to run a really nice special on this wine. If you do purchase 2 or more, you'll receive 25% off of a crunchy cranberry mustard, which is one of the products we carry here at our tasting room, but we can also ship that over the internet with your order as well.
Wow, try to say that 3 times.
Yeah,
Fast.
exactly. Cool.
Yeah. So what's next?
We actually brought out 2 Pinot Noirs as well. So we'll start with another new wine for us, the 2010 Twin Corners Pinot Noir.
Twin Corners.
Yeah. So that's one of my favorite blocks to work with. Twin Corners refers to, if you've been to our estate property here, West Side Road makes 2 real sharp turns as it tails off into our driveway here at the tasting room. We have 3 clones of Pinot Noir planted in that area. The vines seem to be really nice to farm. They're just not over vigorous. The crop load always seems to be real manageable each year. The vines are in a great state of balance, and it's really kind of a low maintenance farming block. I think the fruit comes in at great quality every year, and we just were able to make this this really expressive Pinot Noir.
So the clones that Chuck was talking about, for those who may not know, clones are basically differences within the Pinot Noir variety. Slight differences that can be so much as flavors, characteristic of the bunch formations, maybe has a growing pattern that looks a little bit different. But within that, we try to extract different flavors and different qualities to lend itself to making a world-class wine. And it's his job to put that all together, not mine.
Yeah, and it's kind of a fun challenge. It's really the core of what we do here. You know, this particular wine is one of 3. We may even release a 4th Pinot Noir with the coming vintages, and we really try to differentiate the style. And this one's always the hallmark is it's a little more aggressive. It's got a lot of tannin, a lot of angularity. Really allows it to be kind of an age-worthy wine, a higher percentage of new French oak and extraction. It's kind of one of our bigger, bolder Pinots. And I always enjoy it.
Yeah, again, anyone out there viewing, feel free to type in some questions. It's great to get questions.
Yeah. And we actually, we do have an in-house chef, and we always love to do food pairings throughout the year. And one of the things we came up with for this wine is we actually found that braised short ribs, it just paired great with kind of the bigger, almost, you know, the angularity of this wine will really kind of cut through any of those greasy textures and really make a kind of a harmonious pair there. So that was a great pairing. We also had some sweet potatoes and some green beans on the side, and that was, you know, could be a great holiday meal for you guys, and pair this wine with that.
Yeah, wine means so much for so many different people, but for me, I know my family, food is definitely the thing that brings it all together. And just enjoying wine and food is always the best part of the day.
Yeah, and that's why these kind of things are so fun. You know, my job being stuck in the cellar, it's actually a small percentage of the time that we actually get to sit here and pour the wines that are on the shelf and sit back and enjoy them. So, yeah, looking forward to doing that over the holiday season, and this is a great pairing idea for that. So this wine, it retails for $42. It's available now in our tasting room, and of course there is a discount to our loyal wine club members as well. Great. I hate to pour it out, but we do need to move on to our 4th wine here.
Well, I'll take over for that.
All right, there you go. Do it the old-fashioned way.
Can't let a good one go.
Yeah. So I'm pouring now our 2010 North Bridge Pinot Noir. So this wine has a little longer history of production here at the winery. Some of the older vines that are planted right down on the river's edge, the sandiest soils of the estate. We harvest those, we ferment them separately from a lot of the other lots on the property, come back and blend this wine, really going for smoothness and suppleness and balance in the mouthfeel, kind of that hallmark texture of Russian River Pinot that consumers you know, kind of come to know and love from this area.
Definitely, North Bridge has really been a screamer here in the tasting room. A lot of people tend to really relate with it. I think that's a good way to interpret that, but definitely a solid Pinot Noir.
Yeah, and again, this retails for $42. A very generous offering for the amount of effort that we pour into making these wines. And we thought it was a really nice pairing. It actually goes great with chocolate. We try to match some of those deep cocoa flavors that are in the finish of this wine, some of the oak and the cola flavors match great with the chocolate truffles. So I'm ready. I've been staring at these for way too long. I'm ready to jump in and try one.
Nice. Very good.
So do we have any questions yet? We'd love to get some feedback from you folks. I don't want to finish that chocolate.
I have to have another.
Well, if you guys keep feeding us like this, we're going to have to do one of these every week.
Can you guys talk a little bit about the 2011 vintage?
Yeah, so, you know, and that's kind of another exciting thing. We've actually just wrapped up our 2012 harvest. There's all the rainstorms, if you're with us here in Northern California, that have just rolled in, kind of definitely put an end to the summer growing season. But yeah, it was a really nice growing season. This is both Dave and my 5th harvest here at the estate. They've all been very different, but this year we saw very little drama in the vineyards from the spring all the way through the summer. Yeah.
Keep it short and precise, it was just a beautiful growing season. No major surprises as far as weather goes. Epic fruit quality, crop levels, very nice.
Yeah, it's one of those strange years where you get both the quantity and the quality. A lot of years the vines will set fruit, but you won't have the warmth and the sunshine to get everything ripe and develop those flavors. But this year we had a very healthy crop, but also just had kind of a very temperate growing season. Just tailed right off into the early part of October. We were able to finish up harvesting. I think Chardonnay was the last thing we picked right before the rains started there in the mid and end of October. But all in all, a really nice growing season that we should be able to just grow on what we started here with these 4 wines and produce some more vintages. And I believe we have a question here, so we'll get that relayed on into us.
Are we going? What is your approach to Pinot?
Yeah. So the question is, what is your approach to Pinot? Are you guys going for classic fruit-driven Russian River? And that's a great question. So what we try to do, our property here, we have 100 acres, and we have 4 distinct vineyards in relation to how they're planted in relation to the Russian River. We have a river bottom planting, a benchland planting, and 2 different hillside plantings. So what that allows us to do is actually blend a few different wines with a different style. We do make our estate Russian River Valley Pinot that I really try to drive as that fruit-forward, very strawberry, very cherry and cola aroma-driven wine that's kind of a classic Russian River Valley style. But with our designate level wines that retail for $42, those ones I will actually strive to kind of reflect what's native to those specific vineyard blocks. And to me, the North Bridge is really smooth, really supple, really sandy soils. So we try to reflect that in the wine, and we'll actually drive some of the angularities, some of the more austere flavors with our Twin Corners Pinot Noir.
And I think being an estate, self-contained, fruit is always going to be our emphasis. The quality of the fruit, the ability to expose it to the air, and the coolness of the morning fog, and fruit forward is definitely something we really want to see in our wines.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's easier to accomplish that with all of our production coming from estate-grown grapes. Everything's an ATV ride away, so we really, we don't have to purchase grapes from different appellations or different regions like a lot of other wineries do. We're able to just have it all here on one contiguous estate property, and that's pretty rare. So it's definitely an exciting project to be a part of for that reason. Yeah.
Here's a side note. We're really only working with 70% of our planted acreage at this moment. So we still have another 30% that's due to be coming online in a few more years.
Yeah, young vines.
And with that, it's going to bring a whole different line of characters and flavors that is just going to really kind of give us a lineup of different Pinots that really express what our estate can produce.
Yeah.
And the best way to experience that is just be a wine club member and just follow us and just let us know how we're doing. And any criticisms or comments are just really makes it happen for us. I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we wanted to for you guys being so generous as to join us for this, we did want to offer a discount. There's 15% off of online orders. All you have to do is in the comments section after you place your order, after you've typed in your address, is just write the word online, and you'll get a 15% off. If you're already a member of our wine club, you're going to get an additional 5% off your wine purchase above what your standard wine club discount is. So yeah, we're going to be really generous tonight. That code word online in the comments section. And the last thing we also wanted to mention is we do have a holiday gift box available. It's a great, those tough to shop for people. 2 bottles of wine will be included, a gift card with your own individual message on it. That's all at no additional cost. All you do is pay for the wine. So if you have any questions about that, you can email us info@hkgestatewines.com or comment on Facebook as well, and we'll get back to you and hopefully set you up with that holiday gift box. Yeah.
Definitely a good gift.
Yeah. So yeah, if there's any questions, we'd love to keep this going and keep this interactive. So Any questions about the wines? It's a rare treat to have the vineyard manager here. If you have any questions about the vineyards too, take advantage of him.
Total case production.
So a question, what's our total case production? Actually, the last couple vintages, we were talking about fruit yields. We've actually had two lighter harvests. In combination with some of our young wines, we've been under 10,000 cases. But for this 2012 vintage, we're actually going to be right back up to about 10,000 cases of production. And that's pretty much where we're going to stay. We do have some younger vineyards that are coming online, but we actually sell some of our fruit to other wineries, Lynn Mar, a few other wineries in the area. So a little under 10,000 cases is our annual production.
I'd like to stress too that our production in the scale of things is very, very small.
Yeah.
And it gives us the opportunity to really pick the choice fruit and deliver a very expressive wine that everyone should enjoy.
Yeah, so essentially our designate level wines and our sparkling included, they're very small production. They're barrel selections off those specific vineyard sites. So these are usually about 300 to 350 case productions is all. Very small production wines that allow us to reflect what's special about those vineyard blocks. So if there's no more questions, I really want to thank those of you who joined us for this, and hopefully this will be a reoccurring theme. We'd love to get back with you around after New Year's and see what you think after you've had a chance to taste these wines. So again, I'm Chuck Mansfield, winemaker for HKG Estates. Dave Smith, vineyard manager. Cheers and happy holidays.